Drift away.
What up, guys? Fixer Frags here, and I'll be giving you guys kind of a story today with some Overwatch gameplay. It's not the greatest, but you know, yeah. So basically, it was a night. This is the day before the incident kind of happened. So me and my friends, I'm not gonna name the names just so they don't get rushed or anything. But it's the day before this all happened, and we're talking this out, and we're like, yo, we should sneak out tonight, right? So we're all discussing this, and we're like, yeah, man, let's do this, and we all end up doing it. So this is the next day. It's about to happen this night, so we're all getting ready and whatever, and I'm texting my friends at like 12, 1 in the morning. Well, we're all kind of getting ready, you know. I text them. We end up all meeting at the end of my road. So we end up meeting. Me and my one friend end up meeting, and we went up the road a little bit, and we got our other friend. So we're walking around our town, and we're like, yo, we got this really dumb idea, and we're like, we should go ding dong ditch, which isn't such a dumb idea, because the next one I'm about to tell you is really stupid. So we end up ding dong ditching, and you're like, this is kind of boring. And we end up getting to this one little spot, and one of us picks up a rock, and we're like, yo, we should throw this at a car. So we get this really dumb idea, and we end up following through with it. So later that night, we're sitting here waiting for cars, and a bunch of other cars come past. We're throwing rocks, and these semis come by. Well, there's this one semi that comes by that we end up chucking a rock at, and that semi ends up stopping down the road. So we kind of get a little worried, but we kept on doing it. Well, there's this white truck that ends up coming around the corner. We chuck a rock at this, right? The car slows down and stops and does a U-turn in the street. Well, as that happened, we're all like, oh my god, we did it, and we're all happy, and it's like, it's all fun and games until the house that we were in front of doing it by, that was a couple, like I want to say maybe 20, 50 feet behind us. This lady comes out, and she's like, well, it's a guy, sorry, and he comes out, what are you college kids doing? Well, this person, like, me and my one friend run. We run all the way across the street, and we end up getting to a little practice field. We jump over the fence. My run friend gets over clearly, but when I'm jumping over, I end up cutting my hand on the railing, or the fence, and ripping part of my sweater I was wearing that night. Well, me and my friend are so scared, because this car just did a U-turn, and we end up hiding in an outhouse. Well, as we're hiding in an outhouse, we're discussing when we should go, and we all feel like we're gonna puke because of what just happened. Then we just think, our other friend. He ended up staying there, and I guess what he ended up doing was he was talking to the guy, and he's like, I don't feel comfortable with you, sir. Don't touch me. And then he ends up jumping over this wall and sprinting all the way back to his house. So after that happened, me and my friend are still in this outhouse, and we end up leaving, and we end up running across the street. And we finally get on my road after like a long night of walking, and my friend is just, we see these headlights, my friend's just like, cop, and we're like, oh no. Well, he ends up running, and this cop stops. Well, he whips around the corner, he flashes his light and stops, and the officer comes out, and he's like, you having a fun night here, sir? And I'm like, no, I just got home from a friend's house. Now, the worst possible thing you could ever do when you meet up with a cop is to lie. And I did that, which ruined my chances even more. Well, this cop says, you having fun with your friends throwing rocks at cars? And I'm like, no, I just got home from a friend's house, and I did it again. So, I end up admitting it. He drives me home, and we're talking to my mother. My mom gets up, and she's freaking out. She just got woke up out of her sleep, and that's never a good thing that happens, especially getting woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning with your kid and an officer at your door. So she was irate. Well, I'll get back to that, and I'll tell you what happened to my other friend that ran. he ended up hiding he ran into this alley that we were by and hid under a car, and he watched this entire thing. I ended up looking back, and I guess he told me that I looked right at him, but I didn't even see him. Well, now it's time to go back to where we are at my house and talking to my mom. So we're talking to my mom and whatnot, and how she got woke up at 1 o'clock in the morning, and the officer said that we threw rocks at cars, and I'm denying it, which is a bad idea, and I end up admitting it to my mom. She's like, wow, you even lied, and it's just a whole big mess. And the officer's like, you know, it'd be nice if you apologize, and I was like, I'm down. I'm gonna do anything that can get my reputation and whatnot back up. So I end up going and apologize, and I see my one friend sitting there on the porch crying, and I'm like, oh no. And what's running through my head is just like, oh, he snitched, I'm going to jail or something like that. But that's all over with, and I end up apologizing, and the people were really nice, and I'm just really thankful for it. But that cop ends up driving me home, and my mom's talking to me. For the next day, we all get back together. Well, not the next day, because I ended up getting grounded for all this for a couple of days. The next week, my friend comes to me and he's like, yo, ooh, the cop told us that we had to go talk to the sheriffs because the one friend that ran, he never got stopped, so we had to go to the police station and talk to him. So we end up telling our friends this. So we end up going to the police station, and we're talking with the officer, and he's running us over all the things that could have went bad and how we could have a misdemeanor and all this. Well, at the end, I guess the lesson here, that sounds kind of cringy, but I guess the lesson here is don't throw rocks at cars, and especially don't lie to an officer. But I guess that's my little story I had to tell you. I have a lot of other stories if you guys want to hear. Like, subscribe, tell me in the comments if you want to hear that, and peace.